You didn't convince me. You serious. You want this. I'm obligated to give it to you. Listen to me. Understand what you've done. You've almost completed something you may have given up on until a few months ago. I know you glad you stuck it through this far. Now come with me the rest of the way to get your confidence. This is part 4. This is the last part of getting your confidence. This is the last part of Male Confidence 1.0. There's 2.0, which takes it much further than getting confidence. Gaining, and knowing how to maintain it is what part 1 is about. Part 2 is about how to live with this confidence. Things that you're going to face. I mean, real things, different scenarios that I face that you probably face too. You know, maybe as dangerous, less dangerous, it doesn't matter. We face them all. But what I'm saying is, you're going to go through a very significant amount of work in 2.0. Now, I can already tell you're the kind of person, oh, you're going to get 2.0. Why? Because you see how much you've learned in 1.0. That's a good reason to get it. But that's not the best reason to get it. The best reason to get it is because you believe that there is more to this. You don't actually care where it's taking you. You just know from what you've seen, you want it all. And bro, that's what it's about. That's what it's about. This is the 4th part of 1.0 of the course. And it's about your mentality and your ego. You do realize that you are supposed to have an ego. And it's supposed to be fat. Not necessarily blown out of proportion, but it is supposed to be fat. What kind of person would want to not feel that them personally aren't up there with the better, echelon of people? See, this is the capstone part of this section, and you're going to assure yourself that you know what you've learned and how powerful it is. Now, with this part of the course, we're going to start doing stuff. Not a lot, but we're going to start doing stuff. See, you found your courage in part 1, and you found that by going out and trying different things. Some of it was out of your comfort zone, whether you realize it or not. You found those few moments in time you spent on yourself, that the key to courage is the ability to look truthfully at yourself. You found that out. And looking back, I would think you ought to be quite proud of yourself for what you've accomplished in the first part of this course. 1.0, after this, you will have completed it. And I want you to remember the first part of this course, you found your courage. Now, in part 2, you took that courage and slowly, without you realizing it, added a few tools to use. Now, they would only be effective. They can only be effective if you're brave enough to even use them. I mean, I don't know if you're going to use them. I don't know if you did use them. I'm speaking to you as if you did everything you're supposed to do. The only way I know is if you come to SWU. But since you want to do it like this, is great. Just do it. That's all. Just do it. See, like I say, if you use the tools that you're going to learn, you're going to slowly see the courage that we found. You're going to see it turn into confidence. And it should be clear to you that, I mean, you could use, or you could even see where your confidence begin to surface. It should be clear. It may not, but it should be. Now, in the third part, you took that confidence and showed yourself how to utilize it without even thinking about it. That's what those little tasks did. You learned when you have it and use it, an aura surrounds you, and any person in visual contact or in a proximity will be attracted to you. Now you're in the capstone part of the course. This may or may not be as long as the rest of the course, but it just depends on what all I get to see. Because in this part, you're going to learn what it is we have. And you're going to learn how to be a person. I know you guys like this. With a swagger that'll be the people's envy. I mean, you got to understand. If you ain't got no swagger, if you don't think you the shit, you think I'm going to think you the shit? If I didn't think I was the shit, I sure don't think you would think I was the shit. And because I think I'm the shit don't mean you think I'm the shit, but I got a better chance of you thinking I'm the shit because I think I'm the shit, because everything I do is to show that I'm the shit. And if you see, you got eyes, you know I'm the shit. Why? Because I do what I say about my life. You also gonna learn how to control this feeling that you have, because you're gonna need, well, not need, take that back. You're gonna indeed feel like you can conquer the world. That's how you're gonna feel. It makes you feel like Superman. You're gonna cover seeing your action and moving on your action. Because what good is it to see that this deer can feed your family for the next 2 weeks, but you can't shoot it? Also, you're gonna cover you're gonna see about making this work for your spouse. I mean, all you guys aren't looking for women. Some of you marry, some of you have significant others. This stuff works in that instant too, because I'm not really, like I told you from Jump Street, this ain't really about catching women. I'm just relating the aspect of confidence that relates to women. I'm really using this format because most of you are looking for women. But that's not all you want. So what I'm saying is we got a lot to cover. And I'm glad you saw the desire to take this course, because it's going to be worth the effort and the hard work that you put in so far. I know you worked hard. Now, I don't have any damn national secrets. I don't have no national secrets to share with you. But be assured, those of you who take the time to use this information as we discuss it will feel differently about that. You'll take this information and lock it up. It's that valuable. Now, if well, let's just get into it. You're gonna demand that I lock this information up because it is that goddamn valuable. It should be a national secret. You're gonna demand it. And I'm gonna tell you I can't. See, first off, it's mandatory that after this course, you go on Facebook, Instagram, uh, any of that other shit, and give my course props. Can you tell me you're gonna do that? Can you honestly tell me that? Because you can tell me and don't do it. In that case, you ain't even got to say you're gonna do it. Give me the finger and say, nah, bud, fuck you. You ain't gonna hurt my feelings. I just wish you would do that because I want you to give me my props. The cost of this course is, if you get it complete right away, is under $800. And I'm sure you see its value. I mean, hasn't the value been far greater than that paltry amount of money? I just want you to give your honest opinion. And if you think it's warranted, recommend it to your friends. Now, let's go on with part 4. Now, you know me a little by now. I mean, you probably, been on my shows and stuff. But now you interacted with me on a visual type personal level. And you probably took for granted that I wanted to get the most from getting in. I mean, I wanted you to get the most from getting in touch with your confidence through this course. Now, in order for that to happen, you had to get the course and develop a little discipline. And then you're going to see what it is I have for you to undertake. All right. What I did, or what I'm doing, I'm helping you develop your confidence from the things that you've been doing. Now, if you're not careful, it could be as dangerous to you as a runaway freight train to an unsuspecting town. So we have to be careful. I give examples of conversation, but they won't work for you. I gave you something when you bought this course. Something that once you realize you got it, you'll deem it priceless. And it's not the confidence that you gained. I've given you a way to appreciate the real you. I've given that to you. If you want to see you in the light that you want others to see you in, and you want to not only see it, but be it, this course is everything to you. Now, when all the bullshit is stripped away, all you get is the real deal you. Now, I'm telling you, we went through a lot in these hours. But most of what we did was making you get in contact with somebody you haven't met in a long time, or you met them, but you haven't dealt with them in a long time, and that's you. Get in contact with yourself. And I'm sure that you've learned that the conversation that will do you the most justice is the conversation that you created for yourself through this course. I'm sure you know that. And if you notice, I only provide you with the course. Doing what it takes to work is up to you. And in doing that, you get to know your limitations. You get to know where you can excel. None of you can tell me this was easy, but neither can any of you say that it was difficult. If you followed the instructions, if you did what you should do, what you should have gotten more than anything besides building confidence is discipline. This discipline that you've developed will now help you benefit from the confidence you have. Because, as you can probably see, you have to work at keeping your confidence after you gain it. This is key. Keeping your confidence, if you don't want to come off as arrogant, working at keeping your confidence makes you aware of what you're doing at all times. And right now, you have more confidence than you ever dreamed you could have. But guess what? You only have about 1/4 of what you gonna have. You don't, I mean, you do have the confidence, but you ain't using it. You just recognized it. See, you only have half of what you're gonna have. I mean, quarter of what you're gonna have. And in reality, that's not being generous to you. You might have 1/4. The more you use this, the better you gonna get with it. And when I would suggest don't get any more right now. Just wait and use what this is 1.0. Maybe a month or two. Use everything you learned on 1.0. And then get 2.0. Remember that picture I was telling you about? The more he practiced and the harder he worked at his craft, the better he got. And the same goes for you. The more you continue to work at being confident, the better off your confidence will be. And you won't be considered to be arrogant. I mean, you got to understand, confidence turns some people off because that person that's confident is very arrogant in displaying his confidence. We got to watch that. See, your confidence has a life, and it only just begun to live, and your conscious mind is going to love it. You're going to find, instead of being ruled by your unconscious mind, your conscious mind is going to be the culprit now. But remember, in your conscious mind, you think what you want to think. So culprit can mean a bad guy. When I say the word culprit, I'm just talking about the one that's responsible. So in a good way, your mind's going to be the culprit. But the difference is now you're enjoying it because you know you're responsible for the fun you're having these days. You're responsible because of what you did. When your confidence is like in its infancy, you start seeing different women giving you action, but you miss moving on it. You're too slow at this point. You're new. You're very new because you're thinking about it too much. This is what I mean when I say the connection with what you think and reacting on it have not actually fully developed. These things are arts, and you just can't expect to master them in a few hours or however long you've been doing this. The only thing you can master at this point is your willingness to see alpha situations develop. That's the only thing you can master. This is normal, so don't panic. The difference, the big difference is before, when you did see you missed, you had no fucking idea of what to do or how to do it. You didn't know what to do about it or how to go about doing what it was to do. Now, what's going to happen, or may have already happened for some of you, is after a few missed opportunities, You're going to start to get sharper. And once you're sharp enough, you won't miss. You might not catch, but you're going to get it on your action. It's a process, bro. It's a process. Going through the process is what makes it become part of you. This is one of the rare cases where missing is actually good for you. If you miss in sports, I suppose you can learn from the misses, but missing women will make your catch hand sharper. It makes you sharper every time you see what or why you missed. Don't worry, having this confidence, you won't want to forget these encounters. See, I know you wanted to forget every encounter you had in the past. I mean, you ain't gonna want to forget none of these. You're gonna want to remember these babies, and you're gonna think about even you didn't even catch, but you're gonna want to remember them because you was putting in work, and it's gonna make you feel great, like Tony the Tiger. Hey, I'm serious, man. You so conceited these days. You know, you want to. Excuse me. You so conceited these days. You want to dissect your conversation to find out what you did wrong. I mean, this is good. This course, more than anything, is a self-help type of course for you. You know, it's a self-help course because you can use it ritually over and over and over, or you can implement some of its aspects of it, but not all of it. I mean, of course, some of you guys out there with significant others, you don't want to do all the player shit I'm talking about in here, but you do want to do every bit of the man shit I'm talking about. So you ain't got to use it all. See, the thing is, you can adapt this course to how you want to use it, and once your routine is established, it become a way of life for you. This is an opportunity for you to erase your doubts and those numbing insecurities so that you can see that if you want to, you can shed those extra pounds of doubt. When men hear how positive and assured you sound, your friends, when they hear it, I hope like hell they feel like they want to be like that also. Not like you, but assured sounding them. I'd like to see all the men in this country get a hold of their confidence. But that ain't gonna happen because of the society's brainwashing going on in this country towards men, the way they look at women, and the way they supposed to put themselves down. They're whatever. I don't want to get into that. See, what's going to happen in this country is men are going to reclaim their selfishness. We're going to be more conceited than ever. And we're doing this because men are supposed to be confident. And selfishness and conceit is a big part of confidence. The results for you and men who knew you before and see you now is a slow change going to occur in their attitudes. And they're going to see slowly a change came in you. And then the men in this country will begin to manifest. Otherwise, they won't have to take doggone courses. It'll be enough men here to, raising their sons properly. See, you only helped yourself with this course, and you did that by being totally honest with yourself while using it. And ain't you glad you did that? See, you gotta see someone that you haven't seen in a long time. Now, there's nothing wrong with not being where you're supposed to be when you started this course. So, being honest can only help to improve your chances of development. And when you see someone that you haven't seen in a long time, you're going to feel the urge to show them what you know. But then that's going to show them exactly what you don't know. Because you don't want to show nobody this. You want them to either be sharp enough to discover it or they will miss it. This is what you want. You don't want to try to show people what you know. You just want to be you. And if somebody picks up something, cool. Other than that, they ain't supposed to get it, bro. They ain't gonna do nothing but water down what you doing. You have to develop your conceit and your selfishness. Two of the most important traits a confident man has to display. Part of his being the way confidence demands is it's his choice of lifestyle. And he doesn't deprive himself of anything this life has to offer. So he seems conceited and selfish because he wants what he thinks. I don't want it if I shouldn't have it. But if I want it, I certainly should have it. You'll get to where you won't have to think to announce your manhood to a woman in any manner. You ain't never gonna have to say, I'm a man, baby. No. It's gonna announce itself to her and whoever else is noticing, men, women alike. Hopefully, there'll be a group or a table of young tenders watching you and shit. And your suave demeanor strikes their fancy. What you gonna do? All the things you've learned to do. I'll give you this, when it's a table of brows and you see one you like, don't talk to her. Go to talk to all the brows. Just you're speaking to them all. And then when you get done, you point that one out and give her your card. See, women don't appreciate a man who feels he has to defend his manhood. So otherwise, when you doggone standing at that table talking to them all, you making a decision who you already know who you want. But as far as they know, you seeing who you like. And once you make your decision, you can give your card to who you want to. But look at that brown, how she feels. She's standing there. See, they like a man to do as the peacock does. And what fan they plume or whatever they call it. Fly ass tail feathers they be having. See, women would much rather see you stand up to her and leave her when she's disrespectful than for you to sit and debate the merits of something you have already deemed not worth your time. Shit. If you do get up and leave because you've been, you showing her who you are, she kind of was receptive, but now something's not right and you see it and shit ain't cool, but you're going to sit here and keep talking to her? No, bro, get up, excuse yourself and go on about your business. Let her know she can call you later. If she don't call, she don't call. I give a lot of cards out, man. I don't care that they don't call. But how they going to call if I don't give them a card? See, if you get up and leave, she's probably going to call you later. And she going to apologize. Now, from this point on, never let yourself get put in a position where you got to defend your manhood. Especially to a woman. It's a fact. 9 out of 10 times you have to say anything to a woman in defense of your manhood, she done already deemed you a punk. So whatever you say ain't gonna change her mind. So in order to never, or at least diminish the chances of it happening, it just should always be polite. When it does happen, you can only be as polite as the situation will allow you to be in leaving. Being polite to women don't really take much effort, but the rewards are many. First, it puts you in a gentleman's mentality and category, which is a plus for all alpha men. Whenever you see the chance to assist the lady by opening the door or offering her to get in front of you, or just a smile or a compliment, do it. You don't have to be talking to her or getting at her. Not only does this boost the woman's ego, but it allows you the chance to see the effect that thinking ahead has on a woman. Remember the arsenal. This is how simple it is to design one. If you assisted the lady in a parking lot of a supermarket, you wouldn't know how she would respond, but I'll bet you thought of a few things she might say for your kindness, and you also thought of what you would say, no matter what she said, if she didn't want your help. You would say, okay, I just was offering whatever, but you already thought of it. I don't care what you would say. Good, bad, and different, I don't care. But you already thought of it. So you know it. So when whatever happened that brings this response out, you ain't got no panic. Because you didn't thought of all this shit. Man, designing your arsenal is that simple. You got to remember everything you do has to have an element of selfishness in it. And you got to be able to see and use every tool. Every tool you can use, you got to be using it. Whenever you down, catch this woman. What's selfish about being polite is every time you're respectful and helpful, it increases your courage to take chances where you may not get rewards, or you may not even be able to recognize the rewards that you expect to get. It just makes you take chances. Just being polite. Therefore, it prepares you to be able to recognize when it's time to leave a situation alone, just as well when you get the action. In your confidence early stages, you're going to get sharp enough to start to question yourself. You might already be doing it. You're going to question yourself as to why you aren't moving on the action you get. Now, this happens slowly, but soon you'll begin to move on who you see, what you see. You're going to move on it immediately just by becoming the thinker. Just by becoming the thinker you're headed towards being sharpens you. When this happens, you'll stop looking for action. I'm telling you, you'll stop looking for action because of how much of it you already see in front of you. You ain't seeing action now. You're in a club full of women and you don't see no action. That's going to change. And that, man, that's when it's really cracking. Shit is on and cracking at that point. So keep up what you're doing. Keep trying to see what you can get and watch what you receive. Want something. You know what you still got to learn? You have to learn and understand that your thoughts are the closest things to you. And most times they're right. You have to understand who and what's really on your side in life. Your thoughts are about you, and they represent your wishes. Is there anything else in the world you can say that about? When you're in a situation like a store or wherever, use it as a prop for conversation. Even something as simple as we got to stop meeting like this would be a good conversation opener and a cool line to use. What I'm saying, you have to realize you're seeing your action. This is exciting. It's very exciting when you start seeing your action. And I'm sure the excitement grows when you realize you have some conversation for that action. I'm telling you, for the first time in your life, you have the tools. Use them. That's all you got to do. Use them. Now that you're seeing it, the next step is moving on it. You got to move on what you see, and it both should happen at once. See it, move it, think it, do it. The idea that you can even see action is still new to you. And your confidence is not connected to your emotions at this point. And it's making you wait. This is why you need to practice saying stuff to women in the mirror. Just as athletes give themselves pep talk, tell yourself you ain't gonna wait 2 seconds to get at the first woman you see. Think it, do it. Once you've actually mastered this, it's gonna be clear to you why waiting is what's killing the action you had. A lot of you guys don't know. Wait is what sunk the ship. A lot of things is gonna come clear to you as you get out and use your confidence. And as you get out and use your confidence to guide you, you're going to get comfortable. You're going to get comfortable being led by it. This is basically going to happen automatically. But sometimes you have to just notice that you're being very confident and just relax. At first, you'll have to force yourself to say something or do something when you see a female giving you action. That's natural. Well, actually, I'm getting ahead of you because that's in our next lesson. Seeing it and moving on it. You're not gonna realize until many years from now, but these are your grooming years. You have 3 or 4 grooming years. These are the years of learning to spot weaknesses in your armor and to strengthen your poise when you're in public. And learning these things are a wonder. And you should appreciate all of this now because learning is beautiful. These are the years that you're supposed to do shit. Just do stuff. These are the times to take chances when you're learning to show yourself what to do. You'll certainly, get hell of information to process. But in a couple of years, the same information ain't gonna even have the same meaning that it does now. You're gonna need to groom your thoughts to be flexible now. While they're able to be groomed. Because at one point they're gonna become rigid and you're not gonna be able to change them. So you groom them now. Remember earlier in the course when we spoke on the importance of flexibility? See, this means dissect your thoughts. Don't just have thoughts. Dissect them. Critically think about them. You especially want to break a negative thought down. So you want to find the root of it. You can't have rigid thoughts. Because if you did, you wouldn't progress. You wouldn't progress because of the changes that you're going to have to make. But you got to develop a set of rigid principles. And you got to stand by them at all costs. Now you got to understand that if you had rigid thoughts at this point, you couldn't be changed. So if you learned some new information and your thoughts were rigid, you couldn't change it. You couldn't adjust your thoughts. So they have to be flexible now. At one point, they'll become rigid. Wouldn't you want them to become rigid after learning what to do and you've been doing it to such an extent it's become natural? You got to change that weak things you think. You got to change the weak shit in you right now. You got to change it while you can accept the changes. And you got to implement the changes in your life while it's going to do you the most good, which is now, which is these early years. You have the confidence to do this now. So just do it. When you're looking at your life 5 years from now, you want to be able to look back on how you grew and matured into the confident man you are now. This is sort of a reassessment. And you should reassess yourself on a regular basis, but the 5-year reassessment is the most important one to me. And you do that every 5 years. It reassesses an overall improvement that whatever has happened in your life. And it allows you to assess your term goals, your long-term goals. Term goals are the goals you make for yourself involving time. In 6 months, I want to have, or in 2 years, I should be. These kind of things. These things are your goals. Non-rigid thoughts, reassessment, tied to you regularly practicing being you in public is going to increase your confidence to an extent you're going to feel you don't need them damn MP3s that I have. There'll come a time when you be able to go weeks, even months, without revisiting your stuff, your course. But in my eyes, after a while, I start needing them every 3-4 years. And so will you. I mean, you just need to remember the first 5, 6, 7, 8 years, you need to be doing this stuff all the time, constantly thinking about it. And then after that, we'll see. And you got to remember this about seeing and moving on your action quickly. The first time you do it, it kind of going to be by chance. You see and you move. That's going to be by chance. And when you think about it, you're going to feel lucky. The second time you do it, you've kind of been thinking about the first time you did it and you've been trying to do it again. So now it's almost on purpose, but not quite. And you catch that second one. Now, when you can honestly tell yourself you've seen your move, excuse me. When you can, if you can honestly tell yourself you've seen you move on your action for the third time, it's becoming a skill. And at this point, you'll sit like an eagle on a perch and wait for the next woman to get in your path. I'm telling you, when you start seeing this stuff, you ain't even got to email me nothing. Just say that damn Rosebud and thank me. That's all I want. Thank me. Once you see that you're indeed developing this skill and you move on something for the fourth time, you've honed your confidence to where you truly have an aura. When you out socializing, when you in your car, people gon' see it. They gon' feel it and they will respond to it. On another note, before I get too far into this course, I want to hit on an important fact for you. I want you to stop trying. Stop trying to be confident. At this point, it's in its infancy, and you got to take care of it, but you don't have to try. You already have it. Don't try. You already have it. Now, you need to learn how to exude it. And I want you to know this fact. The power you get from this simple confidence course is true for all men. No race, no height, it's all men. That's why staying true to the letter, to the absolute letter of this course is so gravely important. Now that's important if you want to become a real fly guy. Also, I think when you do start catching, you should concentrate your efforts on more than one woman. As long as possible. It's a well-known fact. Having the choice of women to date gives your ego a gigantic boost. And it helps you to hone in on what really works for different women. Not one woman. If you have one woman and you get in a relationship with another one, let's say this one woman you didn't have for a while, you get in a relationship, it goes bad, and you get in another relationship, or you want to get in another relationship, you ain't even know how. Because you just knew this one woman. You got to have women, bro. And then after you know women, then make a decision on one. Because you know women. You're not struck by her beauty, her hips, her pussy. You struck by her. And you know how to look past all that stuff to see her. If you married or in a serious relationship, of course you don't want your wife or significant other to wonder what the hell you doing. In your case, you want the confidence to make you do better with making your woman happy, doing shit for her, doing things with her, talking about different things, making moves. Now, if you've been on the ABPs, when you do finally have sex with one of these lucky girls, she's gonna be in heaven. When you have sex with your girlfriend or your wife, she's gonna be in heaven. If you be like this, I'm telling you, you just probably think I'm lying, but they just wet the bed up. It's like they pissing. They like me. But I don't know. I ain't the handsomest guy. My dick ain't the biggest. It's just they like me. And I'm telling you, you get the bitch, the pussy come with her. Shit, you can't get you can get the pussy and miss the bitch. Or you can get the bitch and you won't miss the pussy. I get the bitch first. I don't know what you do. So what I'm saying is you just got to understand my thinking. Why? Because every woman fantasizes about a fly, handsome, confident ass man talking shit and busting their motherfucking pussy out. And when they get it, it'll make them willing to be sacrificed in order to be with you. You think I'm lying? See, women that fuck with me will take a bullet for me. This is almost like the Secret Service works for me when I'm with bras. They'll take a bullet for me. You see that? Well, I don't know about you, but it was like that for me. Confidence is as priceless as a rare jewel. It's a commodity. And those who have it should be able to exploit it on the goddamn stock exchange. That's because it's so rare. Even if you're not up on how confidence is supposed to work, just as if you ain't up on how a gym should look. You and every woman you meet will know it when they see it. They know a gym when they see it. They'll know a man when they see it too. When it's there, they see it. They recognize it. So it stands to reason only the people who can see and appreciate the confidence in you would be the ones you want to deal with. Why would you want to deal with people of lesser? I mean, I don't mean that I'm a better person, although I am. I'm saying some people just are lesser quality. And you got to cut them people out of your life. That's why the discipline you developed is so important. You should be able to wait to be recognized, and you should be able to make sure whoever you're dealing with is not detracting from what your recognition should be. And when you are recognized, you got to try to see if it's evident that they appreciate what they see in you or your clothes. You don't want no motherfucker looking at your clothes. A lot of women are like that. I pride myself on representing real confidence in all I do, and I'm very appreciative of those who can see and respect it in me. See, confidence is a tool, and it's no different than a hammer or a piece of jewelry. You're required to know how to use each tool to benefit from having it. Now, what good would it do a carpenter to have access to a jackhammer? Sure, he may know how to use it, but what would he need it for? It's required of you to know how to handle having this confident nature about you. Real confidence is never displayed in a rude manner. Excuse me, in a rude manner, unless a rude manner response is in order. Now, I done been rude many times. In most cases, I guess I'd say, in at least 90% of the time, being rude is a step down from the pedestal you worked so hard to be on. And part of controlling your confident nature is realizing when you can win and when you need to walk away from something. Most wins you get in life aren't the wins you want. That's going to propel your career. But we get those too. We're used to getting wins in some petty argument or debate over cookies or some silly shit like that. This confidence that you're getting and that in 2.0 and 3.0 is going to hone and fine tune for you is going to make you want to win. It's going to make you want to win, period. And you're going to find yourself thinking on how to compete in you're just going to want to compete on a much higher level than you've ever wanted to play in. I never wanted to compete with squares who went to work every day, but I did. There's so many squares out there doing better than me. I'm sure I'll never need to compare myself with any of them. I only compare myself to what my particular goal is in the situation. If you don't put yourself in a category higher than the average Joe, do you think you'll ever be in a category higher than him or rated better? I mean, there are men who will be satisfied with using information to get sex. And I say more power to them. But I know there are men who will put this confidence to work at every level in their lives. Those are who I really want. Those are the men who will put themselves in a higher bracket than the average man because he knows he does more than the average man does. I remember a club in Hollywood named the Sold Out. It was on Sunset, and it was a banging club. That was a hangout for all the real cats who was, really, really confident in town. I mean, it was a time when confident men was in such abundance. It wouldn't be out of ordinary to see me, Joe Cato, the Wicked Cricket, Shantae, 24 Karat Gold, Ike Mound, Pretty Willie, Hollywood Gene, Ken Star, Doobie, Jew, and Fillmore Slim, all in the club at the same time. If there was any weakness in your game, it would be exposed by something as simple as walking to get you a drink. Confident men don't be tripping with petty jealousy bullshit, petty jealousy of another man's position in life. There was no hiding out or being embarrassed of your lack of skills because it was every level, beginning to master in that club. If you're thinking about the game, a confident brother ain't gonna be afraid to stand next to a motherfucker he know rolling way stronger than him. He ain't gonna be afraid because he know he gonna be thinking, I'm next. I'm next in line. You'll never know. You'll never know how to be confident unless you are not afraid to appreciate it when you see it in another man. Or let me take that back. Another confident person. Even Fillmore Slim accepted he was a small fry at one time. And that's the time he began to try to grow and to come out of obscurity and become, a giant in this game. I saw how much I had to learn. I saw how much I had to learn when I accepted I was small time. And when I did, a lion was let loose on a group of lambs. Because before, I guess I was one of the lambs. And I guess you say, all right, Rosebud, what does all this have to do with catching women? Actually, this has nothing to do with catching women. But if you'd ask the question, what does confidence have to do with catching women? We'd have a whole new ball game. Confidence has everything to do with catching women. From how you approach her, to how you converse, and how you interact with her, to how you make love to her. If you understand the power that you've harnessed in these four parts, uh, Jesus Christ, you'll begin to see. You'll begin to see when you talking to a woman that your confidence is going to guide you through the entire time you speaking. For this to work, you just have to always check and recheck yourself during a conversation mentally. You must never get so involved in anything that you do that you forget to check yourself while doing it. After doing it, you can check yourself too. But while you're doing it, it's best. It's the best way to assure yourself that you're on course and you're doing the compliment thing. Stay the course of what you learned, even in hard times. It's quite easy to slip back into the old patterns. I mean, when you're involved in a long conversation, it's easy to start accepting some bullshit from this woman, especially when you're searching for a relationship. So you got to reassess your demeanor at different intervals during the conversation, or even in your relationship. That shit is essential. Now that's a few things to consider while you're talking to a woman. Now let's go to another point. What about your skills in making love? Okay, I'm sure every one of you didn't have some sex. But is having sex making love to a woman? I bet you didn't know that a woman will never make love to you unless you're a man who can show her she don't know how to make love to you. Wow, Rosebud, that's some heavy stuff. It is heavy because you motherfuckers would never be that strong. But listen, if you allow a woman that you getting ready to make love to get into a heightened state before you train her about you, see, you're making a big mistake. You see, women gonna do what they used to doing, especially in a sexual situation. Do you think she should be used to making love to you? I'll answer that for you. She shouldn't know shit about making love to you. And to show her that, when you get her aroused, get out of that pussy and tell her that you don't want to be with her the way she is. You with every dude the way you being like now, shit. And you gotta tell her, look, baby, I want to make love to you. And I know you don't know the first thing to do to me. So I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna guide you at first, and you gotta do what I want. You gotta do what I want you to do in order for me to sock it to you. And whatever you do, don't let me think you being routine. Now, if you can't do it, it's cool. I'm just gonna be gone. Man, I didn't capture her. That's simple. Very easy to do. When you run some shit like that by a woman, she's yours. If you can match that shit you said with your love making skills, oh man, she's more than yours. Personally, I shine in the bedroom. And with the conversation beforehand, I get 15s on a scale of 1 to 10 all the time. So, you got to be confident to say shit like that. You got to be confident in your skills. As well, you got to know what to say to her. Why are you making love to her? Man, these are subjects that, you can think about now a little more seriously because, you didn't join the realm of the thinking alpha man so you can think about your skills in a positive way. And if they're not where you want to develop them, simple. Do you know what a woman want to hear during sex? Women don't want to hear that "I love you" bullshit that you dying to say to her. They want to hear plans, not specific plans, but they want to hear something that indicates that you on the move, that you on the move up the social ladder. They really don't want a bum fool with no goals, but if you're fucking good enough, they accept you if you're a bum. But since you confident, your value has risen tenfold. If you don't believe that you're worth the utmost from this woman, why should she believe it? Sex to a woman is about control. She's giving you a chance to control her emotions for a while. And if you get her to really feel her emotions, you can have her. So I guess you say, God damn it, how do you do that, Rosebud? Well, with sex, it's all about timing. The way you control her emotions is first off to have control over your emotions. Then during sex, just before she comes, you have to get out the pussy, and this time you got to get out and stay out for about a half hour. During this half hour, you're going to talk to her in a very serious tone and let her know that she was just fucking you. And I could tell you was just fucking me, baby, by the way you had me working to get you to come. Now, I don't want to make me. I don't want you to make me work. If you was just any bitch, I wouldn't mind working to get you to come. Now, right here, see, you didn't told her she's special. You didn't told her this in such a slick ass way. She ain't really heard it. Now, you keep going, but me and you, we going after something special. Now, what's good on the regular ain't gonna work for us. She creaming. She creaming. Unless you got one of them brows now. Nigga, you got something to say, yeah, nigga, I'm just saying, we talking about a mate. Now, I hope you hear and see the game in that whole scenario, because when you're trying to establish a relationship and you've already seen that she's worth having one with, you got to take control of her emotions during sex first. This is crucial because most women are at their most honest and open to new information during sex. So you need to explain that to her so that she'll understand it. You have to explain that to her when you get back in the pussy. Now, you ain't got back yet, but just listen, I'm going to give you some game. You got to explain that you want her to give herself to you. Just understand, you ain't going to see this, but listen. You tell her you want her to give herself to you. And you got to put emphasis on give herself to you. And watch what the hell happens. If you do what I'm telling you, when you get in her pussy this time and you tell her you want her to give herself to you. Shit. Now this gonna bring out a whole new dimension to the sex with you and this woman, because she's gonna be giving it to you and you aren't going to have to get it. You already went and got it. That's why you in it. But now, instead of her making you work, she's gonna be working. Then while she's giving it to you, she's gonna be riling herself up. Make your work easy, man. I want maybe you don't like it easy. See, this is bringing us to the end of this 1.0. And I want you to be honest with yourself. I know you ain't called no women yet. And this is because this course is not designed to get you to catch women. It's designed to get your confidence to where it will attract women for you. Your job now is to relax and let your confidence and aura do the field work, and you rake in the benefits. Now, it's not as easy as I make it sound, but it's nowhere near hard as you'll make it seem. So you have to remember, your confidence is in its infancy and you have to nurture it. You have to nurture it so it can grow. Nurturing your confidence will involve you applying all of the exercises you learned as often as you can, daily if possible. I know it's been exciting for you to see your confidence grow, but the real excitement is yet to come. The real excitement comes in the coming months when you see yourself at work applying all this game that you didn't learn. Now, good luck, and always remember that confidence is something you could learn to have, and maintaining it requires vigilance. It's not the elusive oddity that you've allowed yourself to believe. It's tangible things that you can do every day. I've learned each time I revisit these courses, which is at least every 2 years, although I would like to revisit them more quarterly if that's the case. But when I do, I'm able to pick stuff up, even today, even as I talk to you. That's why when I'm reading what's going on, I ad-lib so much. Otherwise, this course is not a one-time thing and it's over. When you finish the course, you can wait several months, a year. Revisit it. You've risen to a new level of understanding, and watching it now is going to show you something entirely different. You know how to move and shake. I'm proud. I'm really proud of you. You went through this, all of it. This course is the course that's going to keep on giving. Long as you keep on asking or searching for a higher level of thinking. Now, you've invested in yourself, and take pleasure in knowing that your investment has been wisely spent. I'm John Dixon. You know me as Rosebud. You can contact me by email, askrosebud@gmail.com, or you can contact me on Twitter at Mr. Rosebud. You can always check my blog out, Real Talk with Rosebud, and Instagram, the real John Dixon with underscores between all the words. And with that, fellas, we finna call it a day.